Hey, everybody. I'm Dr. Lance Knob with the Denali Consulting and the 4% Breakthrough Communities. And I'm here today with Mike Collins, owner of B and C Chocolates and Chocolatier, and also a good friend of mine. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey Lance, how are you?
Awesome. So, Mike, you worked for 26 years at the same company, straight out of high school, foregoing college. Um, you know, partnership was in the discussion. How did you decide to break out on your own after all of that time? I know it takes a tremendous amount of guts and courage. Tell us this entire story.
Okay, so like you said, I started when I was 15, just as a high school job, right after school, looking for something to do to stay busy. And then when I turned 18 or about senior year of high school, I was at a crossroads of whether I go to college or, stay with the company. And the owner at the time offered me to stay with the company. Said he would send me to candy school, which I attended when I was about 19. And I stayed there for a long time and built the company pretty pretty much on my own. I mean, they were helping a lot, but I did a lot for that company. And after about 10 or 15 years, the owners handed off to the second generation, and that's when I said, "Well, am I going to be a partner of this company?" And she just kept putting it aside, and to the point where I started thinking about, going out on my own. And that's when I reached out to you, or you reached out to me, and we joined the Masterminds group. And really, people made me comfortable with being able to do that after so many years. And pretty much the only job I really ever knew and they told me what to look for and pretty much helped me get in my mind, like being able to do it. So that's pretty much how it went.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, it was fun for me because in 2018, I finally, you know, started an official offering with people actually paying me, and I did a mastermind that you were part of that first group, and another mastermind of people that had existing businesses. And even within that 6 weeks, you were making all these big decisions, and Al and Nikki, we were blown away. You were leaving your company and starting a new one, so it was certainly a lot of exciting, scary, fun stuff, going on for sure. So, yeah, I mean, I'm so glad you did it, and you're doing awesome. We're going to talk about all those things. So, I guess the next thing I wanted to ask you about was really diving in. I'm a big advocate for equity partnership, and you've come full circle on that now. So, if you could, you know, yeah, maybe before we get into that, but share a little bit about you kind of touched on it already, but if there's anything else you want to talk about how, to help other people when, equity partnership might be part of, an interest to someone. And if it doesn't materialize, how you handle that. And yeah, we're going to go into a little bit more about where you are with partnerships now. So for everyone to stick around.
Okay, yeah. So I really expected to be at least a partner of the previous business. And um, when it didn't materialize, I looked for another partner, and I found it in kind of an unusual way, but it all worked out because originally I started my own business when I left there, just online home delivery, stuff like that. And then one of my friends from my softball team actually got one of my boxes, and he was like, "You ever want to go out on your own?" And that's when I started really thinking about a partnership and getting involved with someone else and opening up a brick and mortar store and all that.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, the Tarzis are incredible people. I know, especially Barry the best. So yeah, you've got some great partners, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. Can you tell us what a chocolatier is? I know I didn't, know exactly what a chocolatier is, and what makes B and C unique.
So a chocolatier is basically anyone who produces confections. There's different levels, I guess, of chocolatiers. People that just start out and use compound chocolate, and then there's, people that actually use chocolate and know how to temper it and use real chocolate and really fine tune their craft. I learned a lot at the school, but I also learned a lot at my first job. Just, over 26 years, you just learn, you get involved with people. I joined the Retail Confection Association of Philadelphia. I was on the board of directors for them. So I learned a lot from other people in the industry. And the good thing about chocolate business is everyone's willing to help other people. So I got a lot of help along the way. So then after I left that company, I went to another company and I learned kind of the wholesale aspect and a little bit different variety, different kind of business. And I did that for a few years. And I kind of, when I started BC, I kind of took what I learned from my first business and then what I learned from the second business and kind of combined them and kind of took the good and the bad from each one and the chocolate I liked and the flavors and different things like that. And I think when I started BC, I kind of wanted to be a local, you know, business. I didn't want to do anything commercially. I didn't want to carry other people's products. I wanted to make it all our own and not be commercialized at all. So kind of a local hometown store. So that's where we kind of went. That's how the vision we kind of looked at to start our business.
Well, I know just in speaking to Al, our mutual friend, just last night by coincidence, he remembered all the way back to the mastermind when you were talking about really, one of your specialties. You have to talk about that. You want to speak about one, especially like it's a local product and
Right. So yeah, one of our main things was chocolate covered blueberries. And we're about 15 minutes from Hamilton, which is like the blueberry capital of the world. So when New Jersey blueberries come in, everyone looks forward to the chocolate covered blueberries. Kind of a local thing, not too many people have ever heard of it. We don't do them individually, we do them in large clusters and they just pop in your mouth, so they're pretty good.
yeah, no, they're ridiculous, outrageous. As you know, I brought it to as many gatherings as possible, and there's no one who's been disappointed yet. So pretty
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, I mean, just for everyone, Mike and I, have really gotten to know each other well. Our sons are Chase and Aspen are good friends, and do a lot of things together. We've been on the sidelines together, and we've also done a lot of coaching together. So that's been fun. And yeah, we've coached flag and basketball, and yeah, done it all. So pretty cool being in the same town and seeing Mike's you know business really do good things. And part of what you're doing, Mike, is paying it all forward, and doing a lot of community stuff. So just to go back into the partnership thing a little bit more, now that you're what, year and a half into partnership, how's that working out for you? What would you recommend for other people who are entertaining partnerships? So many people have gotten burned, right? Almost, the way we started, it didn't work out in your dream scenario. How do people decide if partnership is a path they should pursue with their business on either side of it, whether they were the founders or a great team member? And yeah, how's it all going for you?
So it went really well. We kind of joined, me and Mike Tarzi kind of joined a partnership actually through COVID. I don't even think our business would have started if it wasn't for COVID, ironically. He said we'll look back at COVID and be surprised at what all the things we did, but the one good thing that came out of it was our partnership. I know when I spoke to Mike and Jim, I was a little apprehensive at first, but they made me really comfortable. They're really great guys, and I know they're really smart businessmen. So that's what I was looking for. Someone I knew the candy aspect of the business. I needed to partner with someone that had more business sense. And he started his own catering company 25 years ago. He didn't even know how to cook when he started, and he just sat in the kitchen and learned it himself. So I knew he was kind of in the same path that I was. Learn the business on hands on, and and he even said he vetted me for a while. He went and asked any person he knew what I was like. So that's get to know the person before you get into a partnership with someone because you don't know what they're like. But if you talk to all his friends and they all speak highly of him, it's a good way to go. So I think that's kind of how we kind of got together and made it happen.
Yeah, I know for us, you're right. I mean, we've always used the, marriage analogy, and you really have to date, before you get married with, equity, partnership and write legal agreements. We've
Yeah.
known all our people, like, work side by side with them for, 3 to 4 years before it happened. But no, I have a similar feeling to you. If you really, make sure people are great humans first, and then you they bring, incredible value, and they're talented, capable people, and you've already, kind of been in the trenches together, especially through hard times, right? That's when you really find out
Yeah.
what people are like, for sure. So that, yeah, partnership has worked out well for us too. So this actually kind of next question was sparked from Instagram, and a friend Tressa, she was asking, how you guys did it with, starting a new business is always hard with from a capital standpoint and startup costs, and you guys are pretty innovative. So yeah, tell us all about that.
So the good thing about Mike, his brother has owns a ton of businesses. I think Tri County and all that, and cabinetry. So he kind of put us under his wing of his umbrella companies and was able to finance it through that. Helped me buy a machine. We ended up looking all over the country. Ended up going to Alabama. I didn't go, but they drove all the way down overnight to Alabama to buy a chocolate machine. And because he already had experience in cabinets and countertops and stuff, they were able to build out the store pretty good for us. So it was actually a really good partnership because we had that part of it, Mike's business sense and my chocolate sense, that the three kind of went together well. And he helped us through the startup costs. And after a year, we've already paid off most of our startup costs or have it ready to be paid off. So doing pretty good, I think, for after only a year and 3 months or 4 months, whatever we've been in business.
No, that's incredible. And I think also you're not even mentioning, what you did was totally innovative in 2018 by, you were able to, start your company, but still have access to the equipment, right? Within, an existing company who was glad to
Oh,
have
right. Yeah.
you
Yep.
do some management work, right? That made
Hmm.
starting the company, you didn't need a space, you didn't have to rent a space, and you had access to all this very expensive equipment.
Yeah. Before I started the brick and mortar store, I did online. And when I left my first job, I told the owner, he kind of, I guess he kind of asked me to work for him, kind of made it known that he wanted me to come work for him. And I said, well, listen, I know I want to start my own business. And he said, well, you can use my machines after hours and and just sell it. So I did all online and home delivery, which again worked out really good during COVID because no one was able to go out. So the home delivery aspect of it really picked up, and it was a really good startup to BC. And then those people that I as customers were kind of loyal to me as I did open the brick and mortar store.
No, that's great. Yeah, so I mean, that just makes me think about the benefits of really communicating openly, in all relationships, but especially going into, like a business relationship, right? Because, there's so many people with their, let's call it a W-2, right? That want to go independent, they're, they might withhold that from, the company they're working with. But yeah, I mean, you were going into this relationship and there would have been no good reason in my mind that, if you hadn't shared that, right, he wouldn't have given you that opportunity pretty
Right,
clearly.
right. Yep. Yeah, it was negotiated before I even went to work there, so that's something I really want to do. So, and he was
S-
okay with it.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. So way to negotiate that, make that happen. So yeah, tell us about, I know we're coming into spring. Tell us about all the exciting things B and C and you guys have going on.
Yeah, so the chocolate industry is basically in three different seasons. You got Christmas, Valentine's, then Easter. So we just finished up Valentine's, had a really good season, and yeah, I break it into three different seasons. Then as soon as Valentine's is over, we start with spring and Easter. So we'll do. I think we're going to do a fundraiser for all of Seneca High School. Another reason way we've done a lot of fundraising, try to get our name out there and also give back to the community. So that's really good. And then it'll be bunnies and all that stuff, and we'll have all that Easter eggs and everything. The store will be decked out for Easter, and then we'll have a little bit of slow time. Then we have Mother's Day, and then we'll roll right into the summer where we do the chocolate covered blueberries. So even though that was the one thing reason why we started chocolate covered blueberries is because in the summer the candy industry just dies. Like no one eats candy really a whole lot in the summer. Not they don't eat it, but it just slows down. Everyone goes to the beaches, and we started the blueberries to kind of keep the business going through the summer and not close like some places do in the chocolate industry.
Yeah. And, I mentioned earlier, kind of alluded to this, that, the fundraising you're doing, I think is incredible. And even going back, I know when we had done some strategic planning and business planning, that was important to you. And we identified that as, an opportunity and a win-win-win. Tell us how you figured that out, because now I see just like you said, I see your name everywhere with, Medford Youth Athletic Association and all these local organizations, so it's a way for them to raise money. And yeah, how's that working? How'd you guys set that up, and how can others, use this same concept for themselves?
So we basically we kind of felt it out like what the community wanted. We started out offering a bunch of different products, and we went out and just there were actually most of the people came to us. It was during COVID, and there wasn't a whole lot of fundraising going on. People didn't want to, leave the houses. They wanted everything brought to them. We had a lot of flexibility in our fundraising. We own like a little cart, so we were able to park one of the carts out in front of the school and just hand out the candy right out of the cart. We've also done sports teams, baseball teams, cheerleading, and really it's just one person picking up all the candy and then having people come to their house or leave it in bags out front. So there was a lot of contactless, um, I guess, giving out of the candy. So it made it really COVID friendly kind of during that time. And now we just have people know that we do fundraising, and they're willing to come out, and we're willing to work with them however we they want. Like whether it's they want to do all blueberries, we'll do it for them. They want to do it for Valentine's only, we'll do it for Valentine's, Christmas, whatever season they want. We have no problem adjusting what we do for them. So it's been
That's
really, really good.
that's great. And I think, how much are organizations able to keep when they're selling things?
So we try to keep everything at $20, which is the price point we found. So we try to adjust whether it's a box of chocolates, $20, and we sell it to them for 15. So they make $5 for every box or every item that they get. We'll do like 4 bags of gummies for $20. So we try. That's what we kind of found the price point of $20 works for us, works for them, and $5 a box, which is what 25%
Yeah.
they're making. So.
That's pretty incredible. When I think about like dine and donates, 25% of what you're selling is hard to find. So that's very generous of you guys. No, that's awesome. So is there anything that you want to share from your journey? How's it been so far now, after a couple years of being away, that you want to, pay forward and share with other entrepreneurs who might just be a little bit reluctant to, break away from their W-2 and go for it?
Yeah, so people always say, I know Mike's told me this a lot. When your name's on the box, it makes it a lot easier to go to work. So when you're working for someone else, you still work hard for that person, but when you see your name on the box or in the business and the title as owner, it's a totally different way of going to work. It doesn't even feel like work as much. It feels like, you're creating something and a legacy for you and your family.
Uh, that's great. I'm glad you're having, yeah, that's great. I'm glad you're having fun. Yeah. So any other messages, anything we didn't talk about today that you want to share?
Uh, can't really think of a whole lot. I mean, everything's going great, so I appreciate the masterminds. Those guys really taught me a lot, making sure like I got everything in writing and did everything the right way. So that was really important to me. Like I learned a lot from my first mastermind group, and just get out there and talk to people about it before you do it because everyone has different experiences and you can learn something from everyone. So and especially someone like you that has been talking to so many people, it's been great.
Yeah, well, thank you. No, it was a pleasure to help you. And, definitely agree. I'm a big advocate for getting it right from the beginning. So I was glad to see you did that. You got everything, yeah, in writing, protected yourself, right? Because that was a potential pitfall with, the earlier part of your story. So that's good. And yeah, right. The magic in, getting together with other entrepreneurs and leaders is that, so much, knowledge and benefit that you don't even realize. So it's awesome. So tell everybody how they can get in touch with you, all the ways they can follow you and B and C, and yeah, stay in touch and taste some of the product.
Yeah, so we have our website. It's not a e-commerce site, but we can take orders and you just email them over and they'll get back to you right away. We have a girl named Lauren who does most of the hours in the store, and she's great. She'll get back to you right away and help you out with anything you need. Um, my wife does Facebook and Instagram, so if you have any questions, you can go on there. She does replies really quickly. And if you want to just stop in the store, we're in Tabernacle, New Jersey, right on 206 1522. Route 206 Tabernacle, and we're open 6 days a week. We're only closed on Mondays, we have some evening hours as we get close to holidays. We are open more in the evenings for people that work. But yeah, we can deliver, we can ship cross country, so we have all that set up to take care of anything people would want.
No, that's great. And yeah, so tell us the exact URL for the website and the exact socials that Kim uses.
So it's bcchocolates.com, and that's the website. I'm not exactly sure on the URLs. I think you have them, but I don't know exactly what they are. I didn't
That's okay.
memorize
We
them.
know we'll put yeah, the socials in the comments for sure so everybody can follow. But
Okay.
yeah, everybody go to the website, check it out. You will have you'll be a fan favorite at any events. I know I've been for sure. So yep, I know Hannah just put it. Thanks Hannah for putting it in some of the socials right now. So yeah, Mike, congrats on all your success. It's been fun seeing it right from the beginning. So happy for you and your family, and you've got great partners in the Tarzies. Are wonderful people. So yeah, thanks for jumping on today and sharing all this value and knowledge. And we'll be in touch soon.
Great. Thanks, Lance. Good seeing you.
Okay, good seeing you.
I appreciate your help.
Absolutely. Okay, bye.
See ya.